Poured my morning coffee, watched the steam begin to rise, and noticed for the first time there were no clouds in my own skies. There used to be a static, a constant low-grade hum of replaying every moment, feeling overcome. A soundtrack of the sorrow on an endless looping track. The heavy weight of wishing for a thing you can't get back. My mind was always noisy with the ghosts of yesterday. I didn't know that silence had a song it longed to play. But today the air feels different. It feels lighter than before, like a storm has finally passed and isn't knocking at the door. I was waiting for a thunderclap, a final crashing sign. I didn't know that peace could be this simple and this quiet and this mine. And oh, the sound of nothing is the sweetest song I know. It's the peace you feel inside you when you finally let it go. It's not a big explosion, just a quiet, soft release. The sound of nothing is the sound of my own peace. I heard that song we loved once playing in a little shop, and I waited for the free fall, for my heart to really drop. But all I did was smile a bit, a gentle, distant thought of a battle I was fighting, that I'm not fighting anymore. It was just a pretty melody that drifted through the air, not a hook that pulled me under to the darkness of despair. The memories are still there, but they've lost their razor edge. They're just photos in a shoebox on a high and dusty ledge. And I can look at them but not now, and the choice is finally mine, to let them be a part of me, but not the main design. And oh, the sound of nothing is the sweetest song I know. It's the peace you feel inside you when you finally let it go. It's not a big explosion, just a quiet, soft release. The sound of nothing is the sound of my own peace. The sound of my own peace. The sweetest song I know. The sound of nothing. At last. Pack the memories in a box, put it on a shelf, wrote the end upon the cover, signed it from myself. That story had its heroes, it had its villains too. It had a beautiful beginning and an ending painted blue. I read the chapters over till the pages were all worn, till I knew every single word from the day that it was born. I held on to the narrative, I memorized each line, and I forgot the world outside. That story wasn't mine, but you can't stay inside a book when the final line is read. There's a world of empty pages waiting up ahead, and the scariest and bravest thing you ever get to do is to write the next one and make the author you. And I don't know what happened time in forever. I think I'm ready now to write. There are no footprints on this path, no lines for me to trace, just the rhythm of my own heart, setting its own pace. The plot is full of mystery, the characters unknown, just a quiet, steady feeling that I'm finally coming home. And maybe I'll get lost a bit, and maybe I'll be fine, but every choice and every word will absolutely be mine. Every story teaches something, even ones that have to end. It taught me how to be a lover and how to be a friend. And it taught me that you're strong enough to make it through the fall, and that having no more story is the best start of them all. And I don't know what happens in the chapter after this. It might be joy, it might be tears, it might be newfound bliss, but the pen is in my hand now, and the page is clean and white. And for the first time in forever, I am ready now to write. Ready now to write. The page is clean and white. Yeah, I'm ready now to write. Sunlight through the window, painting patterns on the floor. I don't check the time or listen for the door. I used to see a solo cup as half empty and so sad, a reminder of the other half I thought I almost had. I used to need the background noise of someone else's sound to feel like I was really here on solid, steady ground. But the silence has a texture now, it's comforting and deep, a promise to myself I'm finally learning how to keep. 'Cause I learned to love the quiet and the space inside my head, and I listen to my own heart beating in this bed instead. And I'm setting a table for one these days, in 100 new and unexpected ways. I am my own good company, my own and favorite guest, and a heart that beats alone can be a heart that's truly blessed. Table for one. I might buy a ticket to a city I don't know, or plant a little garden just to watch the flowers grow. And I don't need a witness to validate the view, my own eyes are finally enough to see the beauty coming through. I can burn a fancy candle on a Tuesday just because, and celebrate the person that I am and that I was. It's not that I am building walls or locking up the gate, it's just that I'm not waiting, I'm not anticipating. I am whole right now, this second, that's a beautiful state. And I'm setting a table for one these days, in 100 new and unexpected ways. I am my own good company, my own and favorite guest, and a heart that beats alone can be a heart that's truly blessed. Table for one. Table for one. My own good company. Yeah, table for one is more than enough. It's enough. Drove past the corner cafe, didn't even look away. Smiled because the sun was out, and it felt like a new day. This whole city was a museum, a gallery of you. Every street held a memory I had to hurry through. There were ghosts on every park bench, phantoms in the rain, a map of places I avoided to avoid the coming pain. You were in the architecture, you were in the traffic sounds, a king who ruled a kingdom that was built on my own ground. But you don't get to own the sunset, you don't get to own the sea, and you don't get to own the best parts of the heart inside of me. I'm tired of living in the shadow of a story that is done. It's time to face the daylight, it's time to find the sun. And I'm repainting these walls with the color of my own. I'm taking back the memories you thought you could control. Yeah, this city's not your kingdom, this heart is not your throne. I'm finally learning how to be alright alone. I put on that one record, the one we called our song, the one I couldn't listen to for oh so very long. And I danced around the kitchen in the afternoon sunlight, and the melody was different, it was hopeful, brave and bright. It wasn't singing about us then, a bittersweet refrain. It was singing about me now, learning how to dance again. The memories are souvenirs, not open wounds anymore. They're just pictures in a scrapbook from a long and distant shore. They don't hurt me when I see them, they don't have a hold on me. They're just proof I had a past, and now my future's free. 'Cause I'm repainting these walls with the color of my own. I'm taking back the memories you thought you could control. Yeah, this city's not your kingdom, this heart is not your throne. I'm finally learning how to be alright alone. A color of my own, alright alone. Yeah, these walls are finally home, these walls are home. Used to wait for a sign, for a reason or a clue. Now the only voice I'm listening to is the one that says you. Felt like I was standing at a doorway for too long, holding on to something fragile that already gone wrong. Needed an invitation, needed someone to agree that it was time to move my feet and finally just be free. Like I was waiting for a signal, a green light in the gray, to give myself the okay to simply walk away. But the world keeps turning onward, with or without my tears, and all those silent questions have been echoing for years. The answer isn't coming from some voice up in the blue. The permission that I'm waiting for can only come from me. I'm writing my own permission slip tonight, to feel the sun again, to step back into the light. No more waiting for a reason, no more looking for the door. I'm giving myself permission and not hurt anymore. Held myself accountable for every single flaw, like the ending of our story was entirely my own law. Carried all the heavy burdens, wore the guilt down to the bone. Forgot that letting go is something you can do alone. Thought I needed an excuse, a grand and noble plan, but healing's just a whisper. You are free to understand. The shoulds and the what ifs can keep you chained mind and standing still. But the quiet understanding is the strongest force of will. It's not a sudden thunder, it's a gentle no inside. The moment that you realize you have the right to try. Me, I'm writing my own permission slip tonight, to feel the sun again, to step back into the light. No more waiting for a reason, no more looking for the door. I'm giving myself permission to not hurt anymore. Permission to breathe, permission to be, permission to heal. The world outside is muted, like it's all behind a screen. And the weather in my heart is the heaviest I've seen. I made it out of bed today, I even tied my shoes. I'm playing the part of someone who has nothing left to lose. Every breath I take feels borrowed, every smile feels like a theft. I'm a portrait of composure with a storm inside my chest. I can see my own reflection, but it doesn't look like me. Just a stranger going numb with practice, quiet dignity. And I can feel the tension rising, a tremor in my hands, like a dam that's holding back a flood of all our broken plans. And the scream is in my throat, but it never makes a sound. I'm holding it together as the water gains its ground. And I'm living right behind the glass, where the tears all look like rain. I am tapping on the surface just to feel a different pain. I am one deep breath from shattering, from letting it all crack. Cause you can't pick up the pieces till you let them fall apart. I remember how you told me that my laughter was your guide, how it lit the darkest corners that you tried so hard to hide. It's funny how a memory can be a cherished friend, and then become the weapon that undoes you in the end. Cause I tried to laugh this morning, and the sound was thin and strange. Another thing I didn't know that you could take away. Maybe I don't have to be so brave for just a little while. Maybe I can let this ocean break across the tiles. It's alright to not be alright. It's okay to be this undone. I think the healing has to hurt before it's ever truly won. And I'm living right behind the glass, where the tears all look like rain. I am tapping on the surface just to feel a different pain. I am one deep breath from shattering, from letting it all crack. Cause you can't pick up the pieces till you let them fall apart. Let them fall apart. You let them fall apart. Let it fall apart. I've been a tourist in my own skin for a long and lonely year, but I finally found a landmark that tells me I am here. I forgot the sound my own laugh made when nobody was around. I was translating my feelings into a less confusing sound. I was speaking in a dialect I learned from someone else. I put my own true dictionary way up on a dusty shelf. I navigated by your landmarks, I followed your own map. And I fell right into every single well-intentioned trap. But it's coming back, coming back. The long-forgotten track, forgotten track. And I'm speaking my own native language again, language again. I can finally hear my own heart like a long-lost friend, long-lost friend. It's a vocabulary of freedom, a grammar of my own. The most beautiful conversation is the one I have alone. I don't have to ask for directions to the places that I need. I can trust the inner compass that was planted like a seed. There's no more hesitation, no more second guessing why. My own truth is the only truth I need to get me by. I can answer my own questions, I can soothe my own alarms, and feel completely safe inside my own two loving arms. It's coming back, coming back. The long-forgotten track, forgotten track. It's not that your words weren't lovely, they were poetry and art, but they were never meant to be the language of my heart. And I am grateful for the lesson, for the time I spent abroad. But now I'm home, and thank you, God, I'm home. 'Cause I'm speaking my own native language again, language again. I can finally hear my own heart like a long-lost friend, long-lost friend. It's a vocabulary of freedom, a grammar of my own. The most beautiful conversation is the one I have alone.
The harbor lights are foggy, a familiar hazy gray, but I think I see the shape of a new and different day.
For months I kept a vigil from this lonely weathered pier, and polished up the memories I wanted to keep near. I built a lighthouse for a shadow, held a candle to the past, hoping for a miracle I knew could never last. This heart of mine has been a port for only one last name, and I've been staring at the water, whispering in vain. But the salt is on my skin, the wind is in my hair, and the open ocean's calling from somewhere out there. I'm tired of the waiting for a tide that never turns. I have to learn the lesson that my spirit hasn't learned. So I'm letting go of your ghost ship tonight, letting the memories sail out of sight. It's not a surrender, it's not giving up the fight. It's just cutting the anchor and turning on the light. Silence where the rope was is a new and lonely sound, and my hands feel strangely empty. On this solid ground I still expect to feel the pull, the comfortable old weight of holding on to something that was sealed by time and fate. But it's a different kind of empty, it feels a little bit like space, a blank page waiting for a story I can finally face. I will always always wish you calm seas, and I will always wish you well. It was a beautiful voyage for as long as we both sailed. But this harbor is my own now, this shore belongs to me, and I have to be the one who finally sets my own heart free. So I'm letting go of your ghost ship tonight, letting the memories sail out of sight. It's not a surrender, it's not giving up the fight. It's just cutting the anchor and turning on the light. Cutting the anchor, turning on the light, letting it sail out of sight tonight. For the longest time I only dreamed in shades of gray. Didn't know how much was missing till I saw the world today. I was living in a photograph, a faded timeless still, a sepia tone memory on a lonely windowsill. The sky was just the sky back then, the grass was only green. The most majestic masterpiece was just another muted scene. I thought that I was living, I thought I was alright, just moving through a world that had forgotten how to be bright. But a little bit of yellow, a little bit of blue started breaking through. I didn't know I was living in black and white, until you left and took the dark and gave me back the light, And now my heart is beating now in technicolor bright. I was living in black and white, but not anymore tonight. I saw a painted mural on a crumbling brick wall, and I really truly saw it. I was standing 10 feet tall. The crimson and the violet, they were singing me a song about how beauty can be waiting where you thought it all went wrong. It wasn't just a painting, it was a reason to believe in all the simple, honest joy that I was ready to receive. With a little bit of yellow, a little bit of blue, I am breaking through. The world was never colorless, I know that to be true. The filter that I saw it through was just a faded shade of you. And now you're gone, the veil is thin, and for the first time I can see the only one who's in control of all this color is me. I didn't know I was living in black and white, until you left and took the dark and gave me back the light, And oh, my heart is beating now in technicolor bright. I was living in black and white, but not anymore tonight. Back the light, technicolor bright. No more black and white tonight. I used to check the forecast like it held some kind of sign, as if the clouds outside were somehow linked to mine. A cloudy sky could ruin me, a drizzle felt like tears. My happiness was fragile, held together by my fears. I gave away the thermostat to the climate in my soul. I let somebody else's season take complete control. I waited for the perfect day to finally feel alright, and I gave the rain and shadows way too much of my own light. But the storm is gone, the storm is gone, and I'm moving on, 'cause I can make my own sunshine, sunshine. a quiet sort of comfort in the things I've left behind. I can light a couple candles, I can dance around the room, I can find a bit of summer in the middle of the gloom. It's not about pretending that the world is always bright, it's about knowing I'm the one who gets to generate the light. Yeah, the storm is gone, the storm is gone, and I'm moving on, moving on. It isn't about faking it or forcing out a smile. It's about sitting with the feeling for a little while, and knowing that the clouds will part, because inside I hold the sky, and I decide the weather with my own two open eyes. 'Cause I can make my own sunshine, sunshine. I can make the rain feel fine, feel fine. No more waiting for the weather to be cleared. All the light I'll ever need is living right in here. Cleaning out the closet on a quiet afternoon. Thought the ghosts were gone, but then I stumbled into you. Ooh, ooh. Just a faded gray sweatshirt that you left behind a chair, a forgotten piece of cotton holding unforgotten air. It's been hiding in the darkness, it's been waiting patiently to ambush me with sunlight and a flood of memory. The fabric has gone soft now, the color's lost its fight, and it still smells a little bit like that one rainy night. And for a second I'm right back there in the passenger seat of your car, and my heart forgets how far away you really truly are. It's just a piece of clothing, I know that's all it is. So why does it feel like the last real thing that's hers? And what am I supposed to do with this last thing? This thread of me and you, and the memories it brings. It's too heavy now to hold on to, too precious to let go. The hardest kind of maybe that a heart can never know. Oh. My fingers trace the worn out seam, the logo on the chest. I see you wearing this on Sunday when we put the world to rest. I see you wearing this the morning that you said you had to leave. A silent loyal witness to a truth can't unbelieve. How can 4 square feet of cotton be a blessing and a curse, and hold the best of all my days and also hold the worst? So I fold it up so carefully, a final quiet ride. This doesn't have to be forever, it just has to be for tonight. I'm putting this away now, I'm not throwing it away. There are some things that healing doesn't have to make you say. And I know what I'm supposed to do with this last thing. Acknowledge all the bittersweet and lonely joy it brings. It was too heavy then to hold on to, too precious to let go. The hardest kind of maybe that a heart will ever know. too precious to let go. Yeah, I'll let it go soon. Used to trace the fault lines, the places where it hurt. Now I see a roadmap leading up and out of the dirt. I remember feeling shattered, a collection of my pieces, praying for a miracle, for all the pain to cease. Thought that healing meant that I would be the same I was before, a perfectly sealed vessel that could not be broken anymore. But every time I tried to hide the cracks and paint them shut, I was only building a prettier cage to keep my own heart stuck. But the healing wasn't hiding all the damage that was done, it was holding up the fractures to the slowly rising sun. It wasn't about erasing, it was about the view that the light could only enter where the pain had broken through. This is my Kintsugi heart, stronger than the start, shining in the dark, a brand new work of art. Every line a silver lining, every crack is filled with gold, a story of survival that will never get old. I'm not afraid of breaking now, I'm not afraid of scars. They're just the proof that I have lived and loved beneath the stars. The echoes of your memory, just echoes after all. They don't have the power now to make me feel so small. The world looks new, the colors feel more vibrant and more true, 'cause I'm not seeing it through the faded, lonely shade of you. Thank you for the tears I cried, they watered all the seeds. Thank you for the strength I found inside my desperate needs. Every single fracture was a chance to build again. And I am not the wreckage, I am the gold within. This is my Kintsugi heart, stronger than the start, shining in the dark, a brand new work of art. Every line a silver lining, every crack is filled with gold, a story of survival that will never get old. Stronger than the start, shining in the dark. This is my Kintsugi heart, my Kintsugi heart. I can see the valley where I thought I'd always be, but the air is so much clearer up here, and I can finally breathe. I remember scraping knees here, I remember losing sight, I remember praying for the morning in the middle of the night. Every step was heavy, and the path was undefined. I was sure the peak was something that I'd never ever find. I was focused on the wreckage, the rocks, the wind, the cold. The story of a broken thing was all that I was told. But every stumble, every fall was worth it after all, after all. And oh, the scar is a landmark now, landmark. and I can see the storms below, the lightning and the wind. And I feel a quiet tenderness for where my climb began. It isn't pity, it's not pride, it's something calm and true, a deep and peaceful gratitude for make it all the way through. Because you have to know the darkness to appreciate the dawn, and to know the fight is over and the fear is finally gone. Yeah, every stumble, every fall was worth it after all, after all. So if you're in that valley now and you can't see the light, just know the climb is teaching you to know your own true height. The deepest cut can be the place you finally see the stars from, and learn that you're the hero that you needed all along. And know the scar is a landmark now, landmark now. It doesn't hurt, it just shows how, just shows how I survived the wilderness. I made it through the rain, and I never see this view without the memory of the pain. Softly, with a deep, peaceful strength, a landmark now. It just shows how I survived the view from here. I survived.
Morning coffee for a party of one. The window's open, waiting for a sun that doesn't come.
The floorboards have a different voice, they answer to my weight. The ticking of the kitchen clock is sealing our old fate. I read a book to fill the space, but the words are only sound, a language that I understood when you were still around. This place was once an orchestra, a symphony of us, and now it's just a single note collecting dust. And the quiet has a weight to it, a blanket and a stone. I'm learning how to live inside the echo of alone. Everything sounds different now, a little out of tune. This whole house is playing Acoustic without you. Just the ghost of a melody in an empty afternoon. This whole house is playing Acoustic without you. I took a walk to see the world, to feel it moving on. The traffic lights were changing from the crimson to the dawn. The city played its rhythm, a steady pulsing beat. But I was in a bubble walking down that busy street. I'm a conversation whispered when the music starts to fade, a half-forgotten lyric from a song we used to play. I'm not trying to forget the harmony we made. Some songs are not meant to last, just to be beautifully played. And I am grateful for the music, for the beauty and the art. It just hurts to hear the silence playing my part. And everything sounds different now.